Yo.
Give a big round
Woo.
of applause to David Corbin.
Whoa! Don't stop the party! Woo. Yo! Look at this! Cut that out! Wait, I gotta tell you, you left one thing out. It's not your bad. We probably didn't do it. Just closed the deal with HBO. Yo! Yeah, thank you. Yeah, $39.95 a month. We could watch as many movies as we want. And we're really totally excited about that. Wouldn't you be? So, that's a delayed joke. It's kind of like how many, it's a time delay joke, so don't drive any heavy equipment this week because it could come up there. How many, by show of hands, have either seen me before or else this is the first time? For some people, that's a delayed joke too. So say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I turned 65 recently. Yo, pretty cool. Thank you. Say congratulations. On Mother's Day, I became a grandpa for the first time. Oh my God, it's better than I even thought. So I need your help on something, and I know you're willing to do it because this is City Gala people, and here's the help I need. I was just up in my room, and you know how we talk about visualization? Anything you could vividly imagine. I was out we used to celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah in Hawaii. Brian Tracy, if you know that name, we were business partners for 5 years, and we're sitting there and we're coming up with some great stuff. Like success is not having to work with butt heads. That's our definition of success, right? And another one was a quote that we had heard, and it's anything you could vividly imagine, ardently desire, and enthusiastically act upon must inevitably come to pass. Could you dig that? You like that? Vividly imagine, enthusiastically act upon, and here's the question I have for you, and I need your help. I was envisioning at the end of my sharing today, you guys jumping up out of your seats, freaked out, go just with a standing ovation, and women are yelling, I need you, I want you, I gotta have you. And men are yelling, I wanna be you. You got it? So women are yelling what? Yeah, and men are yelling what? So to help me visualize that, because I couldn't quite picture it, when the music comes up and I count to 3, would you help me with that? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, stop it. Oh, please stop it. Thank you so much. I love to have fun. And I love to have fun because we live in interesting times. I believe business is at a break point, which has all the characteristics of a breakdown and all the opportunity of a breakthrough. Are you guys here for a breakthrough? Yes. Why do you think we share from our heart, our guts, to the entrepreneur? Many of us believe, and maybe you do too, that this country is in deep doo-doo. And if we don't create 20 million new entrepreneurial jobs by the year 2020, we're in deep trouble. This country that my father took a bullet for, my grandfather took a bullet for, I am convinced, because I have history behind this, that it's the entrepreneur that's going to pull it back together. Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Because it's tough. I call my talk the unencumbered entrepreneur. It's tough enough to be an entrepreneur, but it's damn difficult when you're encumbered of issues here. You with me on that? I love you. I freaking love you. I freaking love you. I what? And I freaking love you too. I love you, and I know that you're a dying breed. There are a lot of organizations out there to build the entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is hip, you heard it. Entrepreneur is so cool. At my little town of Poway down the road, they're doing not a Shark Tank, but a fish tank at our September days for kids to pitch ideas for business. How cool is that? Yeah. It's up right now. The only thing is, the law of entropy and the statistics say they ain't going to make it unless they get real serious. I'm going to share with you, have you ever heard of I think it was called The Last Lecture? This guy was going to die. He was a professor. You heard this? He was giving his last lecture. I'm going to make believe this is my last lecture. I'm going to share 4 things with you. 4 things with you as an entrepreneur I feel are critical. And this is my clicker. See, a lot of people have clickers. Check out my clicker. Cool, huh? Yeah, not everybody got that. I'm going to cover 4 things with you. Number 1, wake the F up. Number 2, be, do, act. Number 3, give, serve. And number 4, live, love. I'm going to cover 4 things. And you know there's a little bullet in the middle of that? No one does it alone. No one does it alone. I've worked in Fortune 5 companies and cabinet members. No one does it alone. I work with startup entrepreneurs, and some of the people here are my clients. No one does it alone. Keep your reticular activator system out for individuals that, in your opinion, can help you. I'm going to share 3 big lies that most entrepreneurs that I know come into this world with. 3 big, fat, stinking lies. Number 1, we're separate from source. We are separate from source. The God of your understanding, whatever. We're separate from source. Number 1, bullshit. Number 2, ready? We're not good enough. We're not good enough. God, if people knew what I didn't know. If people really knew. Number 2, we're not good enough. Number 3, we are in total control of our destiny. And it's crap, crap, crap. Most entrepreneurs I know, if you reach behind here on your butt cheek, you'll notice that there is a bungee cord attached to it. And it's pulling you back to one or all 3 of those lies. And you're pushing because you want to accomplish things, and you're pushing hard, and you're being pulled back. And you're a state of what we call dynamic tension. You're firing off missiles of desire, and you're being held back by that damn bungee cord. When I mentor people, we identify the damn bungee cord. And but when you're held back by any of those beliefs, and oh, by the way, even when you conquer for them, the famous philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said, and no, I'm not old enough to have known him, he said, fatigue causes man to fight battles previously won. We get tired, we go back to the old crap. Now, in 12-step, I love, they say hunger, angry, lonely, and tired. Pulls you back to the old stuff. Are you with me? How many of you made, those mistakes? You go back to the old ways. And you're like, I'm better than this. Where's that coming from? So, I'm going to cover those 4 things. I want to cover some mythology. And here's the mythology. Survival of the crap. Because many of the companies that were shown, from Montgomery Ward's to Olivetti typewriter to Oldsmobile to MySpace, they ain't around. They were fit, but they ain't around. Dinosaurs were fit, but they ain't around. My fellow entrepreneurs, it's survival of the most flexible, the most adaptable, the most innovative. Today, you innovate or die, and that's it. I believe that those who don't have a plan to manage their emotions through the process of change will end up working for somebody who does. Change is inevitable, except sometimes in vending machines. But so if you don't have a plan for that, where the hell did that come from? I don't know. Shut up. Okay, I'll be fine. Innovation. There's something I'm going to share with you real quickly called systematic innovation, called TRIZ, T-R-I-Z. T-R-I-Z is a Russian program that one of my clients brought over from Russia, and if you go to the trizjournal.com, you'll see it's systematic innovation. You could take your issue, your challenge, whatever, put it through this software, and come up, after looking at 40,000 patents, a pattern which might get you out of your thinking into something unique and new. It's pretty freaking crazy. I didn't come here to talk to you about that, but as long as I thought about it. Mythology. Work hard, toe the line, and enjoy job, fill in the blank. Any idea? You said it. Security. Enjoy job security. Is there such a thing as job security? No. Of course not. Do we want job security? Do we want certainty? So you see the tension in that one? Wherever I go, I said, is there such a thing as job security? I was in Texas recently, and I said, is there such a thing as job security? They went, hell no. Wherever I go, in India, they go, no, I don't think there's job security. I love the different languages. Wherever you go. In New York, I said, is there such a thing as job security? This guy goes to me, no, there ain't no fob security. I said, excuse me, sir, there's no F in job security. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no F in job security. You now listen to me here. But if you want job security, I'm going to give you a key. I'm going to give you a key right now. It's a simple system. I'm going to use my flipper here. Watch that. See? No other speaker has that magic. Hello. And it got stuck. So here's what I want you to do. Make believe that your business is the circle, and each of those spokes is what we call a core job function. A core job function, a part of the business. So in sales, it might be prospect, present, manage a territory, close, handle objection. You know what I'm saying? Every one of those is a spoke. It's a what? Spoke. It's a spoke. You got it? And so here's what you do. You take a look at the spoke, and you ask yourself, go ahead and flip it over. Kurt, yo-yo. Kurt, you yo-yo. Flip it over. So what we're going to do is, every one of those spokes, you're going to get naked and expose yourself to yourself on the following scale. 1 is you suck, and 10 is it's mastery. Are you with me? Yeah. 10 is what? 1 is what? Suck. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice. Yeah, you suck too. All right, so what you do is you look and see where are you an 8 or a 9 or maybe even a 10. Are you with me on that? When you're 8, 9, or 10, what do you do? Cha-ching! Pat yourself on the back. That's very groovy. Now, where you are a 3, what do you do? Have you ever heard that song? You've got to accentuate the positive and eliminate the negative. Most people say eliminate the negative. And we say, no, baby. You need to do this. You need to illuminate the negative. You need to illuminate the negative. You need to go right into that and illuminate the negative in a positive light. See, here's the scoop. You can't solve everything you face. But you can't solve squat if you don't face it. You got that? You can't solve everything you face, but you can't solve anything unless you face it. And it's get real. I mean, get real. Have the courage to get real. And look at these. You know, if God forbid, this little dot here was a melanoma, I'm going to accentuate the positive. Hey, most of my skin's pretty good. And I'm going to eliminate the negative, which I'm going to put a Band-Aid over it. When you keep this stuff in the dark, baby, like mushrooms, they grow and multiply. You lose credibility. You lose momentum. You lose everything. Illuminate it, which is all about, let's advance the slide here. Illuminate is all about, I don't want to go beyond the, if you can advance that slide. See, we don't have a clicker, so I'm having to do it that way. When you illuminate the negative, here's what you do. You face it, follow it, and fix it. Jot that down. Face it, follow it, and fix it. Face it, follow it, and fix it. Essentially what you're doing is, you're looking where you're a 3, you're setting a goal to be a 6, and you're closing the gap. You with me? What could you do to close the gap? Mentors, books, videos. Look to the left of you, look to the right of you, stand up, sit down, fight, fight, fight. It's all about closing those gaps. Are you with me? That becomes something called PGA. Now, PGA has nothing to do with Tiger Woods. God bless his pointy little head. Someone told me recently, I'm not saying this, but somebody else said this, that Tiger Woods, the difference between him and Santa Claus is that Santa stopped at 3 hoes. But my point is, it was that guy again. It was that, seriously. Stop that. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. Performance gap analysis. Analyze, he's still laughing. Will you stop it? You're going to wet your pants. Analyze the gaps. Close those gaps. And you know what happens when you close those gaps? How do you think it feels? Amazing. Because just like this is called a law of what? Law of gravity. The law of gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or not, baby. You can call it gravidad, you can call it Bubba. It doesn't care. You walk off of any building in any town, you're going down. And that's the true shizzle. Right there, boom. Here's another law. Here's another law. It's called the law of control. The law of control says we feel good about ourselves to the extent we're taking control of our destiny, to the extent that we can. Are you with me? We feel good about ourselves. Our self-esteem is correlated with our taking control of some of our destiny. Not total control, because we're not in total control. And here's the scoop. How many of you work off of lists? Anybody work off of lists? Yeah. How does it feel when you check it off? Wow, that's the law of control. How many of you done this? You do something, it's not on the list, but you put it on the list just to check it off. That's the law of control. Let's advance the slide and press ahead, because we ain't got a whole lot of time. Go past that. And bada boom. So I wrote a book about this called Illuminate. The green one came out 10 years ago, and this one is just coming out now, 10-year anniversary. How cool is that? You know how many people we've illuminated through the illuminators? Having chief illumination officers in companies, so people can say, you know, man, I think we got a problem here. Most organizations go, hey, we all got problems, get back to work. What did you just do? What did we just hear? People want to be heard, not part of the herd, H-E-R-D, get out. They want to be heard, they want to be listened to. Yeah, but I'm telling you, I smell smoke. Just get back to work. Yeah, I leave, I hope the damn thing burns down. What could that manager say? The manager could be honest and say, you know what? I love your smile. The manager could say, okay, here's the scoop. We're working on this and we're working on that. And right now, we don't have the resources of time, money, and maybe even not even know-how, but let me write it down over here. So when we have our meeting, we could maybe revisit that, and thank you for that. You see the difference? That's Illuminate. Why don't people do that? Well, it used to be one manager to 8 people. Now it's one manager to 28 people, and the managers are swimming around with cinder blocks on their feet. So when you come up to me and I go, don't come to me with a problem unless you bring a solution, okay? Well, I smell smoke, but I don't know how to put out a damn fire. You got it? Illuminate. Okay, let's flip ahead. So that's the F up your business. What does the F stand for? Thank you. Okay, so that's the gig. That's the gig. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, Kurt. Let's do this. Keep up with Uncle Dave. You got it? I'm going to F up your business. If you're not F'ing up your business, what are you doing? You're F'ing up your business. Okay, good. Let's go ahead. Go ahead. The next thing, be, do, act. And here's the question. Who are you being while you're doing what you're doing? Who are you being while you're doing what you're doing? We fielded some research. We're going to do some quick clicks here. We asked thousands of people, say, why do you buy from whom you buy? Now, you heard one study on this. I want to give you another study on this. And this is going to be a little freaky. Hold on, don't go too fast. He's got premature flipulation right there. I'm just saying, it's okay. It's never happened to me, but it's okay. No judgment. No judgment. Love. It's all love. It's all love. Why do you buy from whom you buy? The first group said features and benefits, right? I buy $99 for 2 pairs of glasses, lens card. You got it? Boom. The next group, boom. The next group, I buy because of a relationship. I go to my dry cleaners, And they know my kid's a karate kid and plays piano, and I like that. We got a relationship. And the third group, the largest group, why do you buy from whom you buy? God only knows. They don't have a freaking clue. Now, in the science of marketing, we need to do what's called a push question. Our push question was, hey, would you switch? Features and benefits group? Yeah, we'd switch. Somebody got 3 pairs for $99, I'm there. The relationship group, go ahead. The relationship group, would you switch? They go, yeah. Now, the largest group, why do you buy from whom you buy? God only knows. Would you switch? No way. So what's up with that? Like, really? Seriously? Like, seriously? There's something there. I know what it is. Flip the thing. The famous philosopher, Austin Powers, says, it's the mojo, baby. It's the mojo. Another philosopher says, what's your mojo, baby? What's your mojo? My question to you is, what's your God only knows factor? Because it's not enough for only God to know. You need to know it. You need to be it. You need to do it on Monday and then Thursday. No, on all the days that end up in Y. You got to be it, baby. Let's see what we got next here. Well, here's a guy. Here's his mojo. He's, my friends talk about USPs. PUSFs, preferentially unique selling factor. He's in an industry he needed to differentiate himself. What do you think his mojo is? What's that? Humor, fun. He's a little bit different. That's pretty groovy, right? That's his mojo. What's your mojo? What is your mojo? All right, let's flip it. I'm curious to see who we got coming up. Yeah, so in that regard, check this out. The 4 areas that I am leaving you with, and I ain't dying. I'm 65. I believe I've got another 90 years left. It said if you could live till 2029, you can conceivably live another 100 years with telomeres, telomerase, CRISPR, and many other. They're injecting teenage blood into your system, which is making a big difference, and it's turning things on. Something called intermittent hypoxia, where we bring you up to altitude as though you're almost going to go into altitude sickness and then take you out, and it switches the genes. It's unbelievable what's going on. If you could stay, according to Singularity University, and I learned this when I went with Ryan and others to the United Nations to hear a lot of things. If you could live till 2029, or 2030, you can live another 100 years. And that's without freezing. And you can freeze your blood. You could freeze stuff like that. It's quite remarkable. We live, the ancient rabbis used to say, is both a blessing and a curse. May you live in interesting times. And indeed we do. Indeed we do. So I believe who you're being as you're while you're doing what you're doing is all about understanding your mojo and knowing your brand. Understanding your mojo and knowing your brand. Every single day. What? Every single day. You are either in brand integrity, where you're doing the brand, or you're killing your brand and committing brand slaughter in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd degree. You got that? Corbin. Brand slaughter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, what's the order? You snooze, you lose. We might have one for you, though. So here's the scoop. Somebody commits manslaughter, you see it on the news. Somebody commits brand slaughter, you don't hear it that often. But when Forbes magazine called me up and interviewed me recently, after they did an article on that book, they called me up after because this airline, I can't remember which it was, it rhymes with fly the friendly skies of United. Right? Poor Vietnamese doctor. Someone said, where's the best place to get Vietnamese takeout? United Airlines. And I thought, that's rude. That's wrong. That's too soon. Too soon, and I get it. Okay, too soon. That guy. But you know what? It ain't freaking funny. It's disgusting. And then what happens in one of my books, which I'll talk about later, we have a section on service recovery. And what did the CEO of the company do in service recovery? He said, well, the guy was following policy. Well, what? Policy to pull a human being? I mean, it's kind of interesting. You can destroy a brand pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. I suggest, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk about two things. One is confidence, and the other is hygiene. And so anyway, for real? What's up with that? That's brand slaughter. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and in brand slaughter, we teach something which is pretty cool. It's called an Abbey. Jot this down. This is awesome. It's an Abbey, and this is the essence. That book and this book are storybooks. They're stories, and this is about a hospital and about a security guard that totally gets the brand and some robotic cardiac surgeon who doesn't give a rat's ass about patient relations or communication. And through some stuff, actually I had people cry reading it, through some stuff, the security guard eventually, teaches that guy. And he teaches something about an Abbey, an audit of brand integrity. What that's about is, and try this, baby, try this, because it's powerful. You go around, you ask yourself, what is your brand, what are your values, what are you about? And then you go make a list of all the touch points you have. Customers, vendors, employees, colleagues, and ask yourself, how am I carrying the brand? Are you with me? You might find it very interesting. If you're not exactly sure, you got to get sure. And a lot of people do the V8 thing. They go, oh, crap. That was brand slaughter. I had no intention of doing it, but I was doing it. You're either building your brand or you're killing your brand, and nothing's neutral. And I got some of these ideas. I got to tell you, I was at a little party about 50 years ago with some friends. It's about 500,000 friends. It was a really cool little party. We call it Woodstock. And so I was there, and I had just turned 17, and I'm backstage. It was raining, and this was the stage, it was raining, and that was the sound truck, so I just kept walking, boom, 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 till I was in the sound truck and looked around. I wasn't followed. Now I'm safely out of the rain. Pretty smart for a 17-year-old New York kid, you know what I'm saying? So, but I got caught the next day. I slept there, which was great. But I got kicked out. I got caught because I had to leave, because even a dog doesn't tinkle in his own bed. So I had to get out, and I couldn't hold it anymore. And the guy goes, you can't be here. I said, no, it's cool. The guy said, what guy? I got nothing. He goes, you're out. So as I'm leaving, there's this guy sitting like this. No kidding. He's sitting like this on the floor. Are you with me? And he had this big afro, right? And he's sitting there like this. And he looked at me like he knew me. And he said, man, like you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting. But you're never standing still. I was like, okay. I was 17 years old. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Many years later, I knew exactly what he was talking about. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. You're either green and growing or you're ripe and rotting. You're either building your brand or you're killing your brand. Are you with me on that? Now, I can give fancy terms, statistical process control, histograms, Pareto charts, total quality management, Lean Six Sigma. It boils down to, man, you're either green and growing or ripe and rotting in the different core components. So I want you to take a look at your wheel. There's actually another wheel. And by the way, this is in a book. We're giving you a copy of a book that this is in. The wheel and the spokes and even service recovery are in there. You'll dig that. It's a gift from Ryan and the group and whatnot. And so many of us are such believers in the philanthropreneur, the philanthropic entrepreneur, of which our friend Ryan and his partner Mark and others are living it and walking the talk. I honor people like Bill, who is just doing things, Ken and Kerry Court, right? It's too many names, okay? Too many names. But Yeah, you got that? This is awesome. Why do we do? Because you're worth it. Because you're worth it. Because this country's worth it. Because the entrepreneur is going to make it happen. Going to make it happen, is making it happen, will continue to make it happen. And I hope that these ideas that I'm sharing with you will help you do that. Let's flip the thing. This is an example of, I don't know what that's an example by Cracky, so let's move on. Okay, so that's the be, do, act, who you're being, blah, blah, blah. Let's move ahead because we ain't got a whole lot of time. Here's the next one, give, serve, give, serve, give, serve. You've heard it all the time, give, serve. Ain't nobody does nothing unless they're serving somebody. Serving somebody. The way I look at it, it's 1, 2, 3. What's that? 1, 2, 3. You got that? You serving somebody, baby. And you can't serve others until you got to. You got to, except when you maybe doing dinner at the table or something like that. Give, serve. And so let's press ahead. This is a book that I wrote 1,000,000 years ago. You're going to get a copy of it. Anybody want a copy of that? Yes. Okay, well, you had your hand up, so I'm going to give you right over there in the red. Can you catch? Oh, yeah. Are you ready? If you drop it, it ain't yours. Ready? 1, 2, 3, hop, ho! Okay, it's hers. Boom. That's called catching an opportunity. Yeah. Don't stop the party. Good job. So in that, let's stay on this one. So in that one here, I've got the wheels, and you're going to be getting that, so look at that. And here we're talking about synapses. Somebody talked about synapses, the axon and the dendrite. And between the axon and the dendrite is somebody talked about norepinephrine. They left out acetylcholinesterase, which has to be there for the norepinephrine to work, for the axon to make the dendrite. And very often your intention doesn't hit your whatever. Your awareness doesn't match your action that our friend Bill just talked about. Are you with me on that? I mean, I was aware that I shouldn't smoke cigarettes for 20 years. I was aware of it, but I wasn't what? I wasn't attentive to it. There was a time when I maybe had a couple extra pounds here or there. You know what I'm saying? I was aware of it, but wasn't sort of attentive to it. So that's that book. Now, the next book after that, thank you, is a book that one of my clients wrote. Anybody hear this book, or the video? Yeah, so my client got together, bada bing, and they wrote this book, and it sold like 13 million copies, and the video is the best-selling video ever, and it's all about be there. 4 steps to serving delightfully. Be there. Make their day. Play. Choose your attitude. Could you imagine if you lived by that? I believe that was best of breed. I thought psych down service was pretty good. And I can't wait for some of you to write the next customer service book, but until you do, I'm working on a new one. This is a shoe shine stand in Denver, Colorado. Maybe some of you have seen it. There's another one in Charlotte, North Carolina. People are lined up to get their shoe shines there. Their shoes shined there, and their shoe shines there. They're both right. Shut up. I knew that. Okay. So, people are lined up. Why? Because they look at it, they're going from soul to soul. We're not just shining shoes. We're shining people. And they ask themselves, hey, before I shine this shoe, what does love look like here? What does love look like here? Oh my God, he used the L word. What's wrong with him? It's the best 4-letter word in business you're ever going to hear. We love ourselves, we love our friends, we love our kids, we love our stuff, and we come to work and we're supposed to leave love at the door. Love. One of my colleagues, Steve Farber, wrote a wonderful book called Extreme Leadership, and it's all about LEAP. It's called Cultivate Love. Generate Energy, L-E. Inspire Audacity, that's A. And provide proof, that's P. Love. How does love show up at work here? It might be let them just stay on the cell phone and shine their shoes. And what they do is they look at individuals like those dirty shoes. And they look at that shoe and they go, looks like crap, but I know there's a shine in there somewhere. And that's how they treat people. Could you imagine if an organization enculturated that? Could you imagine from a leadership perspective, an organization cultivated love, which then generates energy, and inspire audacity. Let go of the normal constraints and then prove positive that it actually works. How cool would that be? Let's press ahead. So that's that. Got it? The fourth section that I didn't want to leave without. Let's press ahead here. The fourth section is live, love. What does this mean? Live long and I see some people that are prospering, but when it comes to living long, they're killing themselves one fork at a time. Hey, how's Steve Jobs spending his money lately? Anybody know? Too soon, huh? Yeah, too damn soon. He died too soon. There's too many people too soon. I graduated high school in 1970. I'm 65 years old. I run a 5K every Saturday. I'm hearing about my friends with cancer, heart disease, and disease related to diabetes. 65 years old. A lot of my friends are gone, some in the Vietnam War. Others in the war of our culture abuse. Help me out here. To all beef patties specials, what is that? Who knows? To all beef, help me with it. Anybody know that? To all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. That's a Big Mac. Through frequency and advertising, we had that memorized. And that Big Mac has more cachet than a guy named Big Mac in Houston, Texas, who took his truck and picked up people in the flood and brought them back to his mattress thing, Big Mac's mattresses, and he had people sleeping there. Nobody knows him, but they know about a freaking sandwich, which is laden with chemicals to light up the pleasure center more than heroin. And then they have this, if you don't get a sense of this, it pisses me off. The largest toy manufacturer in the company is McDonald's. And they say, here kitty, 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 here kitty, kitty, here kitty, kitty. And then they eat the hamburger and we create these little addicts. Just do the research, baby. That sucks. Because you've seen the movie Super Size Me, you know what happens when you eat that stuff. Chemicals, the hormones, we talked about cortisol. These animals are freaked. You're eating all that stuff, and our kids are eating it. Now, if that's not bad enough, because by the way, they know this, and if somebody hears from McDonald's, I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap. I didn't do the Nazi stuff. I just drove Hitler. I didn't. Then they take a clown named Ronald McDonald to endear us to them, and now we have McDonald's in every children's hospital. That freak you out a little bit? Press the thing, and I've got, what, 2 minutes, 1 minute? We're over. All right, I'm just going to define intelligence real quick. That's my rooster, it's an idiot. That's my turtle, it's an idiot. The rooster has its way with the girls all day and poops all over the place and whatnot. And then, but they're idiots. Of course, I put him in his cage at night, and then Raimundo lets him out, and he lives the life of a king. But this is a smart animal. You got it? This is a smart animal, although it's a little obese. And that smart animal was me 40 pounds ago, 45 pounds ago. But the illuminator had to illuminate. Now, I got to go, but I just want to redefine intelligence for you right now as my fellow entrepreneurs, and that's this. It's not a way of acting. It's not a way of thinking. It's a way of doing both. It has nothing to do with SATs, IQ, whatever. It's how you carry yourself in this world. It's the decisions that you make. Right now, our food pyramid is disgusting. Hormones, glyphosate, vegetables are not food. They're grown for how they look and how they transport. If you women need iron, the doctor says you need iron, you need to eat a spinach salad. The spinach that's in the stores right now, you would have to eat a garbage pail full. If it's organic, you eat a bowl full. The inorganic comes with glyphosate, which is Roundup, which causes cancer. Just like one of the number one carcinogenics next to cigarettes are hot dogs and processed meat, and yet the Cancer Society endorses it because they get a lot of money from Oscar Mayer and from Hormel. I don't mean to bum you out, and I gotta go, but I want to ask my empowered entrepreneurs, take care of yourselves. What is it that you're not facing? Be your brand and know where your brand lives. Serve with love everywhere you go. Serve with love everywhere you go. And if you've seen that movie, Oh God, with George Burns, where George Burns is an old man, he's playing God, and the only one who knows that this old dude is God is John Denver. And John Denver says, God, you give us all these problems. You give us Russian tampering. You give us high taxes. You give us diseases. You give us all these, but you give us the problems, God, but you don't give us the solutions. And George Burns, playing God, said, but I did give you the solution. I gave you one another. That's it.